Okay, what's up, guys? I know everybody is panicking a little bit with the Braves' slow offseason, and like I said, I am going to start calling them mechanics because apparently we're just kicking the tires and checking in on every player with a pulse at this point to possibly protect Freddie Freeman. And I love that we're doing our due diligence, but the dominoes are falling and they're falling fast. And I'm not going to completely panic until February 27th. And if we haven't made a significant move to protect Freddie Freeman and deepen the lineup and make the bench better and the outfield, given that we only have three viable outfielders at this point, then I will be very critical and question things. But until that, you still got Marcell Ozuna and you still got Justin Turner, who we've reportedly checked in on, and Nolan Arenado. That is a big deal for the Cardinals. That makes it a significant 3-4 punch or 2-3 punch for the St. Louis Cardinals, no doubt. But I have some reservations because Arenado is heading into his age 30 season, locked out. I think he had 5 years and 100 plus still left on his deal. Plus, he has an opt-out after the 2022 season. So if he's not happy, he could just go and kind of screw the Cardinals. Couldn't think of a better word there. But the Rockies are obviously offloading payroll and getting $50 million and 5 prospects. It's a start, but to give up your franchise player and your player that's made you relevant for the last decade, it's a light return. Definitely, they only gave up their 9th best prospect overall. And again, you say, why didn't the Braves do this? Well, the Braves farm system, I've said this many times, with the sanctions, we couldn't plenish the mid-tiers to low tiers with Latin American players, and that kind of made our farm system not as deep in that, meaning our farm system is very top-heavy with Pache, with Waters, with the 3 catchers, Langoliers, Jackson, and what's his name? Langoliers, Jackson, and Contreras, and so many others. It's very top-heavy. We've started to add a couple of international signings as those sanctions have gone away, which I still think that was the dumbest punishment ever for John Coppolella, but it is what it is. And I think we would have had to put in Pache, Anderson, and a lot more, plus the money. I don't know that we're willing to do that, obviously, as we've had a slow off season, no doubt. But my thing is, you wouldn't spend $18 million and $11 million to upgrade your rotation with Smiley and Morton and just kind of let Freddie Freeman walk 500 times. You just can't do it. And I hope we don't do it. Am I sick of the rumors and kicking tires and all of that stuff? Yeah. And I just want us to do something? Yeah. But again, I'm not going to get my pitchforks out until February because, again, AA, he's got to be doing something because obviously if the rumors, then we're checking in, then we're doing stuff. We're just we're not comfortable with the long-term deals and getting rid of prospects, and I get that. But sometimes you just got to push the chips into the table, and maybe that is a Jose Ramirez who has 3 more years of control. Yes, I know February is about to start, but still, you got 27th and Turner, Ozuna are still out there, plus maybe Chris Bryant, even though I really don't want Chris Bryant with his shoulders. And honestly, he only had 5 RBIs in an entire 2020, even though shortened, very, very concerning. So Bryant, I kind of want to stay away from. Peterson signing, but he signed today with the Cubs, 1 year, $8 million. And Eddie Rosario, although not the flashy move and average defensively, had really good numbers. Runners in scoring position, signed with the Indians. So maybe the Indians are kind of going for it and building their farm system at the same time. So who knows? But it would take a arm and a leg and everything else for Jose Ramirez, but he's got a very controllable contract over the next 3 years, which that's another name that we've seen us bantied about. My preference right now, Marcell Ozuna 1, Jose Ramirez 2, and anyone else, Justin Turner 3. But again, we still need outfield help if we go a Jose Ramirez or a Justin Turner. You still need outfield help because I would, unless we sign Justin Turner, then you move Austin Riley to the outfield. But again, I'm not sure. But I do know that we still have great pieces. Freddie Freeman, which I really hope he signs an extension, and I'm hoping that comes when the arbitration hearings for Dansby Swanson and Mike Soroka. That might be where we're kind of waiting, but if we can't wait too much longer, and because again the options are falling off the table, Nolan Arenado is a fantastic player and makes pretty much the St. Louis Cardinals kind of the favorites in terms of their offense. I'm not sure exactly on their pitching, but the Braves, if we would have gotten Arenado, I would have greatly been happy about it. Yes, we have talked to Ozuna. If we would have gotten Arenado, I would have been very, very happy about this. But if you look, he's almost 30, owed about $150 million over the next 5 years. He's almost turning 30, and his home road splits outside of Coors is drastic. Every single important hitter stat goes down at least 65 points from average to on-base percentage to OPS, at least 100 points, and OPS on-base plus slugging goes down about 150 points. So although I think he will be rejuvenated going into a winning situation in a lovely baseball fan city, even though I don't necessarily enjoy them too much, I think this is a great move for them. They also added Waino to a 1 year, $8 million deal. I think he will be 100 years old and still throwing nasty changeups in a Cardinal uniform. Yadier Molina's back. So they're kind of, putting the band back together, as it were, for the Cardinals. I also don't think it's a bad idea that the Braves just put the band back together, get Melanson back, get Green back, and get Marcell Ozuna back. 3-year deal for 3 or 4 year deal for Marcell, and then you got, because the DH is coming in 2022, a Freeman extension would be nice, and then you got Shane Green and Mark Melanson on maybe 1 year, $10 million deals, and that's seemingly what AA has been comfortable with. The only two players that he signed in multi-year deals in his tenure with the Braves, which is a little concerning, is Travis d'Arnaud and Will Smith. And Will Smith, by his own admission, probably would say it was his most rocky season at the worst times for the Braves, but with a 3-year, $39 million contract last offseason. So again, Arenado's great, and he probably makes the Cardinals' best corner infield tandem in the league. Maybe Olsen and Chapman out in Oakland. Out in Oakland, a tick above them, but with Arenado going to a typical winning situation, then I think he will be rejuvenated, and his his defense is worth the price of admission anyway. 8-time Gold Glover, 4-time Platinum Glove winner, which means he's the best overall defender in the league. So good luck trying to get anything by that infield. It's going to be interesting to watch. Again, am I concerned the way the Braves roster is set right now? Yes. But am I going to get my pitchfork out? No. But we never know what AA does ever, so it's not that surprising. Trey Mancini has been kicked around, the outfitter for the Orioles, who has put up decent numbers and has been the Orioles' offense over the last couple of years, but he is coming off colon cancer diagnosis. He is thankfully into treatment, and everything seems good to go there, but I don't know. Everything seems to be a long shot of what reporters get, so we will see. I didn't think we were going to get Springer, especially the way his 2020 playoff went. I didn't think we were Realmuto. I just didn't think that made sense, and I didn't think we were going to Hugh. I didn't think any of that. Well, I hope we make a splash, because, like I said, otherwise we're gonna see Freddie Freeman get walked 500 times. And yes, you're right. We didn't know about Donaldson until his press conference. Again, that's the thing. You don't hear anything until it breaks. Like, we didn't know anything about Smiley. The only thing that's broken that has been correct about the Braves has been Morton. So again, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of holes. I'm liking the shape of our bullpen. We added Carl Edwards Jr. on a minor league deal. He's had a 3.16 ERA career. He had injury issues last year, but again, another low risk, high reward guy, and he was on the 2016 Cubs World Series team and played a big part in that. So that's good. Right-handed depth again with Mark Melanson and Shane Green, free agents at this point. Yeah, you can put Darno behind Freeman, but you need something else there, because right now you've got Ronald Acuna Jr., Ozzie Albies, Freddie Freeman, Travis d'Arnaud, Dansby Swanson. 6, probably Riley. 7, Pache. 8, Ender Inciarte, and he's come off of a disastrous stretch with injuries, confidence, and his defense even suffered last year, which was his calling card. So that's just not a lot to rely on. You can get, hopefully, maybe Adam Duvall comes back, and that helps things. But I didn't think we were going to get Nolan Arenado. All of these big names weren't necessarily we could trade Ender, but with the financial straps of COVID and the economics of today, I don't know that there's going to be even any takers at only $8 million per. I just don't think that's going to happen. I want him to have a bounce back, but I just don't see him being in our future. But if nothing changes in the next few weeks, then he might be in our future, and we're just going to have to pull hard for him. And again, I don't think we were gonna get any of these big guys because we've just not been notorious for just pushing the chips in and going for it. I mean, prospects are great, but they're still prospects until they step foot on the major league field. And although I love Waters, I love Contreras, I love Langoliers, I love Anderson. Anderson's probably the one untouchable for me. But again, it matters contract money, and there's probably things behind the scenes that we're not seeing. But I think the Nolan Arenado trade is kind of a disgrace for the Rockies. Not that they got prospects, even though they only got the ninth top prospect for St. Louis from St. Louis, and that's kind of disrespectful for the caliber of Arenado. But they kind of just had to do something because Arenado wasn't happy. He kind of had all the power and still has all the power with St. Louis not waiving his no trade for next year and just kind of seeing how things go. And sometimes when you're a superstar, you get that. But I'm kind of shocked that the Rockies said yes to this because it's not. If I'm trading away my cornerstone player, I better be getting at least a top 5 prospect in return. And the fact that they only got Midland is kind of blech. But good for the Cardinals. I mean, really good for the Cardinals. I think they still need some outfield help and maybe some bullpen and starter or two. But I mean, this does impact the Braves, and I know everybody wants to bring out the pitchforks and all that stuff, but we still got a quality team on paper right now. We need 2 or 3 bats and maybe a bullpen arm or 2, but again, I'm not going to freak out totally until spring training. And I know that's right down around the corner, and I know AA knows all of this. He's not oblivious to it, or I would hope he's not oblivious to it. I'm just kind of waiting for that Noah Syndergaard wacky move that he made in Toronto. I don't want that type of return or that type of trade, but the impact trade, I'm kind of waiting on that. And AA won't lose my trust until, I mean, he's got, what, three NL East titles and a National League championship, 10 outs away from the World Series last year. And that's the thing that I keep hanging my hat on is that we were 10 outs from the World Series. AA knows that, and he knows that we've got to be a couple of pieces away. Heck, last year if we had Mike Soroka, I feel like we would have had at least a World Series appearance. But that's not how things shaked out. AA knows this. He's probably on the phones right now, and hopefully it's not another minor league deal we see. But if it is, I'm gonna back the Braves, no matter if it's John Boy and Billy out there on the field on April 1st. That's never gonna change for me. We survived the 2015-16 rebuild years where you had Adonis Garcia and Nick Markakis batting 4th and all that stuff. So I am not going to worry about it right now. I know a lot of dominoes have fallen and they're slim pickings, but if it's me, can we just get the band back together and run it back? Marcell Ozuna, Mark Melanson, Shane Green, Adam Duvall. Let's run this thing back, and maybe another bench piece because we're kind of thin there. But that's my take on it. The NL is definitely a lot deeper and a lot more competitive as a whole than the AL is in any stretch. I mean, you got the AL Central, the NL Central, the Pirates. The Pirates might lose 120 games because they are just tearing it down to the studs. But this Nolan Arenado trade just makes the NL even more strong. And I mean, the Rockies have got to start somewhere. Even though this deal, even though they got $50 million to kind of cover the contract, it just feels so light for such a superstar. But my concern is his career splits away from Coors Field. Even though Busch Stadium isn't necessarily a place where hitters go to die, so to speak, like Safeco or Dodger Stadium at some points. We'll just have to see how Nolan Arenado translates, but he's a fantastic talent, and that's going to be a fun lineup to watch. And baseball overall is going to be fun to watch with all of these super teams, super duos. And all I can say is Freddie Freeman, Dansby Swanson, Ronald Acuna Jr., Ozzie Albies. We still got Fantastic Four. Let's just make 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 somehow. Get a couple of blue chippers in there somehow, some way. I'm still holding out hope for Joey Gallo, maybe. I think he's kind of a dark horse because we've done things with Texas in the past with Chris Martin and smaller deals. So please, AA, I trust you, and I will not bring my pitchfork out just yet because I still like the way our team is set, but it's a little barren on the offensive side of the ball, and we ain't gonna outpitch a lot of teams. That's the thing that got us in 2020. We were super balanced. We could win a 2-1 game or a 29-9 game like we did against the Marlins. So I want to see that balance again, some way, somehow. Anyway, how I will continue to work on my swing to make sure I'm raring to go, but I don't want to use it. But I will keep my swing sharp and ready and waiting for that call. But hopefully, we get somebody big and to make Braves Twitter and everything exciting. I'm still really excited that baseball is on track to be back, a 162 game ride, and I'm ready to see what kind of roster we have on the 27th of February and beyond. But as always, go Braves. This was a shocker trade, but a fun trade to talk about and how it impacts the Braves and what we've got moving forward. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let me know what you think. I know everybody's panicking, but let's just take a breath. And on February 27th, but most importantly, April 1st, because a lot of things can change from here to there, especially in the COVID world. But as always, go Braves. See you guys tomorrow.